Hey guys, it's been a while since I've done a video, but I wanted to show you my outdoor garden. Unfortunately, I'm not able to grow cannabis at the moment or mushrooms, so I'm sticking to my gardening, to vegetables, to some fruit and flowers. It's been a lot of fun. It's enough to keep me going for now. So thank you guys for following along in the meantime. We will have some fun and we can do a lot of the same training techniques, a lot of the same gardening stuff nonetheless. So I'll show you what I got going. Keep in mind, it is August. My garden should be much further along. I started all of these indoors, and then my wife left me, all my drama started happening, and I didn't get my poor tomatoes planted on time. You can see I still have, God, 12, 15 of them here that I started I started seedlings in the little pellets over there. I moved them into these greenhouse fabric pots, and then you can plant those right into the ground. So I moved them from my tent over to here. I have the big ones on the outside. Those ones are in my grow tent. These ones I just started as seedlings outdoors, or indoors under the, just as seedlings for a couple of weeks. I moved them directly outdoors. This is a big sunflower that somehow ended up with my peppers, along with, nasturtium, alyssum, all sorts of seeds ended up in there, but there is a serrano pepper plant in there, believe it or not. So I'll show you what I got going on in my garden. It's all covered in hay, or actually straw, sorry, I had enough left over from my strawberries on the end there. But I've got 2 rows of tomatoes here. The big ones on the end that actually have some tomatoes growing on them are the ones that were in my grow tent. You can see the big difference between the second row there, the skinny ones, compared to the fat ones on the very outside. I'm growing some sunflowers on the very edge. They're teeny tiny now. I should have started them again months ago. They'd be big like this. I'd have a little blockade. These are all peppers here. I've got, I don't know, 6 or 7 varieties, but let me try to run through them. I've got some jalapenos and serranos. I've got 1 Fresno. I've got poblanos. I've got cayenne. I've got Hungarian yellows. I feel like I'm missing one. That might be it. I don't know. But then I've got little ones that like the chipmunks have eaten up that I just figured I'd plant. Yeah, let's see, Hungarian yellows, but I'll show you some. We got some peppers growing. That's a little baby poblano. You can see so just to show you, I used some of the same training techniques. I topped this poblano. So you can see the split here. When it was smaller, I snipped it. Oh, maybe not. I actually, you know what? I bought this one at like Walmart. It was pretty big, and then I snipped it up here. That's why it's got kind of this funky offshoot on the side. It didn't grow. When you top it a little bit later, you never know if you're going to get an even canopy or not. But could have done my tie down trick. Still could tie this over, work to get a more even canopy. So all of those same techniques that we do with cannabis, you can do them with your peppers. You can do a lot of them with your tomatoes too. You can see I got my stakes over there with the tomatoes. Tomatoes need support like cannabis plants when they get bigger. By the way, I will be uploading some videos of my mom's, I call her my mama, my mama's cannabis plants. And oh my God, they put me to shame. She has my plants. I gave her mine, and I put mine up next to hers. Hers are photo periods. Mine are autos. Mine got stunted as well, just like my tomatoes. But my God, hers are they're 5 feet tall already, so still got a couple months to go. She should have 7 footers. She'll have a lot of weed, that's for sure. But you can see my squash. This is a yellow crooked neck squash. Something here on the west side where I am, there is this some sort of fungus that goes around. It's been pretty moist here, but no matter what I do, it just keeps hitting. I need to spray with the fungus spray a little bit more, but luckily it's not hitting anything else yet. But I'm at the point where I'm just ready to get rid of my squash because they're not really producing anything anyways, and they just, I can't seem to get them right, and I don't want it to spread to anything else. So these planters over here, these are all milkweed that we planted earlier. We actually planted on time. You can see they're huge, they're beautiful, they're flowering over there. They attract butterflies. The caterpillars, they never laid eggs on them. Caterpillars never got them, so they are still like pristine if any caterpillars want to come and munch up. These are my strawberries. They're doing well. I planted pumpkins towards the end. That's what these are. They're growing really well. little baby pumpkins and bigger pumpkins and some of the white pumpkins. So I got all sorts of pumpkins here. I just had an extra bag of mulch, so I figured I'd throw it in there. I got a couple eggplants on the end, and that's a big green bean plant down there and a couple small ones. So those are doing well. The big green bean plant on the right, I started indoors in my greenhouse or my grow tent. You can check out my other earlier grow videos to see it indoors and see what it was like. But you can see it compared to the ones on the left there. It's just ginormous. So it makes a huge difference starting them indoors, having that extra month. But I think these weren't started at the same time. They're probably a month or two difference actually. But nonetheless, just like with the tomatoes, you can see here, the ones on the left were started indoors, the ones on the right were started indoors just for a couple of weeks, but they were not left indoors like the ones on the left. The ones on the left were indoors for a couple of months. So they were under at least 18 hours of light a day, but sometimes more than that. So they ran out of soil space, basically. They became root bound, didn't have any more room to grow. Oh look, we've got an eggplant growing. It's starting to grow. The flowers for eggplants are very pretty. Who would have thought? So again, these are pumpkin. I'll show you up close over here to some of the milkweed. So you can't tell, but these are probably, getting close to, some of them are getting close to 5 feet tall. They're flowering, they're very pretty. These are the Cinderella milkweed. Let's see here. I got a couple tomatoes over here. Those ones need a little fertilizer, it looks like, but I'll show you these ones. These ones got so lanky we don't get a ton of sun here in this part of the lawn, but they're doing pretty good nonetheless. The soil here sucks, sorry, but it's all sandy, and so the plants do so much better in the planters when you can mix the soil yourself. So you can see these tomato plants. These are the same ones that were planted outdoors as the seedlings. They weren't under the grow lights, but they are the same size as the ones under the grow lights almost. So it almost is a matter of the soil. The soil makes a huge difference, but the light does as well. Oh yeah, I did some pumpkins and planters too. So that should be fun. Hopefully the pumpkins don't get that fungus that my other squash did though. They seem not to be bothered by it yet. I'll show you this. I had an oyster mushroom block that fruited and was done fruiting. And you can do a second, third flush on oyster mushrooms usually. So I'm gonna bury it probably, I might just do it in this planter. You can just bury it or you can break it up and spread it around, and they love hay, so it should colonize this hay, and there's some manure in there too, so that should help. But I think I'm gonna break it in half actually and bury half on either side. And if I'm lucky, as it rains and gets wet, or I water it actually, it will fruit again. I'll get some more mushrooms along with my pumpkins. There's a couple more tomatoes. But yeah, that's my garden, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Give this video a thumbs up if you did. I'll keep showing you my my garden here. If you're enjoying my videos, as always, subscribe if you could. These are cayennes. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching.